Countries affected by the locust invasion to step up measures in combating this menace. Government spokesperson Cyrus Oguna says swarms of locusts that have invaded the country in the last two phases have been from neighboring countries. At the same time, Oguna says only 6 counties are experiencing a huge invasion and the situation is under control. Mwangi Maina with the details.
In a press briefing with journalists earlier Wednesday, government spokesperson Colonel Cyrus Oguna retaliated that efforts by neighboring countries in the fight against locust invasion are much needed at this time when the country is battling a second wave of invasion. Oguna notes that efforts to contain locusts from their country of origin will ease the burden and the ravages brought about by the locusts. As such, the Intergovernmental Authority on Development (IGAD) will be having a summit to address the locust invasion.
If Kenyans are actively containing or combating locusts, it may not amount to much if the neighboring countries are not doing the same. So therefore, it is important that as a country combating locusts, it must also be complemented by equivalent or a same effort by neighboring countries, failure of which will contain them here and another wave from a neighboring country will come in.
So far, 6 more counties have been invaded by locusts, bringing to 22 the total number of counties that have been invaded by the second wave. The counties include Kitui, Laikipia, Meru, Makueni, Kajiado, and Nyandarua.
Initially, 203 swarms had been sighted in various counties, and 121 of them have been contained. So that leaves about 90-something swarms that are currently being contained to ensure that the damage that they would be able to occasion on crops and vegetation is completely minimized.
So far, 121 swarms of locusts have been contained, with more than 90 swarms being fought from the air and on the ground. Oguna says the government has set aside 10 helicopters for this activity, where 6 helicopters are being used for surveillance and 4 for spraying.
The aircraft that we've been able to deploy as government, and this is huge because we are again learning from the past experience during the first invasion, we have so far been able to deploy 10 aircraft, out of which 6 are surveillance helicopters and 4 spray fixed-wing aircraft. These aircraft are deployed in the bases that I've mentioned so far: Wajir Base, Isiolo Base, Marsabit Base.
Oguna adds that the government has enough pesticides to battle the locusts, and the locust control bases have the required infrastructure to battle the pests. The government has set aside 3.2 billion shillings for this fight, and 1.3 billion shillings from development partners has been in use for this fight. The fight against these pests is being undertaken through joint efforts from the national government, county governments, the Kenya Defence Forces, Food and Agriculture Authority, the World Bank, National Youth Service, among other partners. As the government intensifies the fight against locust invasion, government spokesperson Colonel Cyrus Oguna says that the government have upscaled and will continue to upscale its efforts to fight this menace to ensure that Kenya's food safety is not compromised. Mwangi Maina, TV 47, Nairobi.